DeAnna here, mindbodymethods.com. What I want to talk to you guys about today is doing ab work without hurting your neck or your back. So if you're doing crunches or moves in plank and you're experiencing neck or back pain, the reason is almost always due to poor form. So I want to break it down for you very simply, step by step, so you know exactly how to do this type of exercise without getting hurt. So let's start with a basic ab crunch position in a supine position. That means supine, laying on your back, all right? So very simple, basic ab crunch, and it's probably the move that I see being done incorrectly the most. So I want to start with this one. So we're going to start on our backs. We have our knees bent, feet are flat on the floor, knees and thighs are squeezed together. Now, before we do anything, I want you to take a second and notice my lower back here. So you see how I can put my hand all the way under there? So right now, my abs are not doing anything. They're hanging out, taking a nap, and my lower back is arched up. So the first thing we want to do is to change this position, and it's called imprinting the spine. So what we want to do is draw the belly button down towards the floor, and then imagine your pelvis was like a bowl of soup and you were going to drink out of it, so we want to tip it back. So when we do those two things, draw the belly button in, tilt the pelvis back, and now notice that there's no way I can put my hand under there because my entire lumbar spine is pressed into the floor. So this is called imprinting the spine. Now the challenge is that we want to maintain this position through the entire range of motion of the move. So if we're coming up and we're coming back down, notice this in here never changes. Up, down, I never let go of the imprint in the spine, and that's really important. Now the next thing has to do with the neck. So very common, see this all the time. Hands will be behind the head and elbows in like this, and people are doing this. That's super terrible for your neck. So if you have your hands behind your head, you want to just barely overlap the fingers a little bit and just, kind of behind your ears. And the point of your hands being there is not to pull your head up, it's to support the weight of your head. So we want to keep the elbows sticking straight out like chicken wings. So when you come up, eyes and chin are up, elbows are straight out, and you're not pulling on your head, you're just kind of supporting the weight up and down. So a good way to gauge this is if you're coming up and you can see your elbows in your peripheral vision, then you know they're too far forward. If they're out here and you can't see them, that's where they ought to be. And it's almost impossible to pull on your head with your elbows sticking out like that. And then last thing, of course, we want to exhale up, inhale down. And then eyes and chin are straight up at the ceiling, so you're not going to look at your knees. We don't want to do this. We want to look up there and down. Now another thing you can do is just cross your arms here. And that's fine too. If that doesn't hurt your neck, that's probably even a better option, I think. I prefer to do them this way. All right? Now, let's flip it over, because the same thing in the back is going to basically be true in any kind of plank-based movement. So, if you're here or you're here, here again, we are drawing the belly button in towards the spine. So our lower back is flat. It's not dipping down, it's not arching, it's flat. And if we were up here in plank, we'd be looking for a straight line from the shoulder to the hip, and then it goes down to the heels. But what we want to avoid always is none of this, okay? So we're using the abs to protect the lower back. And that's pretty much it, but it's the same position if you're in plank, or if you flip it over and you're laying on your back, it's the same exact thing. You're doing the same thing either way. So anyway, there you go, neck and back pain free ab work. Visit me on the web, mindbodymethods.com. Hop on my email list. I send out great content all the time, and I can't wait to hear from you.